The 10 fastest missiles in the world. The United States does not even crack the top 4. Number 1 tops out at over 32,200 kilometers per hour. That is 40 times faster than a commercial aircraft. On September 3, 2025, China marked the 80th anniversary of its victory in the War of Resistance by unveiling the latest Dongfeng 61 and the Dongfeng 5C strategic nuclear missiles. The display immediately captured the attention of military enthusiasts worldwide, riveted on the cutting edge of missile technology. Speed is one of the most critical parameters in any missile strike, and it remains one of the fiercest battlegrounds in the global arms race. Even spacecraft can't keep up. So, among the hundreds of top-tier missiles fielded around the world, which one truly reigns as the undisputed king of speed? Today, join us at Journey Journals as we count down the 10 fastest super missiles on the planet. Mach 20 times the speed of sound. That translates to a top speed of 24,500 kilometers per hour. Hard to believe, but this is no science fiction. It is the reality of Israel's Jericho III ballistic missile. The development of the Jericho missile series dates back to the 1960s. Israel was acutely aware of the dangers surrounding its geopolitical position, encircled by powerful adversaries. With conventional military forces unable to guarantee long-term security, with early assistance from France, Israel gradually built its own long-range strike capability. After decades of iteration, the Jericho evolved from its early short-range variants all the way to the current Jericho III. A system that now performs at intercontinental levels, serving as the cornerstone of Israel's policy of nuclear ambiguity. The Jericho III is a multi-stage solid-fuel ballistic missile, approximately 15.5 meters long, with a launch weight between 29,000 and 30,000 tons. It can carry a payload of 1,000 to 1,300 kilograms, configured with either a single high-yield nuclear warhead or potentially multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, boosting both penetration capability and strike efficiency. In terms of range, conservative estimates put it at 4,800 kilometers, while more aggressive analyses suggest coverage could extend beyond 10,000 kilometers. That means from Israeli soil, targets across the Middle East, Europe, and even parts of the Americas are within reach. But what truly put the Jericho III on the world's radar is its staggering speed. Ballistic missiles typically reach extreme velocities on re-entry, and the Jericho III is believed to hit Mach 20 as it re-enters the atmosphere, screaming back from outer space at 6 to 7 kilometers per second as it closes in on its target. Picture a warhead weighing over 1,000 kilograms, plunging at that kind of velocity. The kinetic energy released would be equivalent to tens of thousands of tons of TNT. Even without a nuclear payload, it is more than capable of delivering a devastating blow. To underground bunkers or strategic facilities, this overwhelming physical force is something no air defense system can fully intercept. Beyond its sheer speed, the Jericho III also offers multiple launch configurations. It can be fired from fixed underground silos or deployed on mobile launch vehicles. This dual capability dramatically improves survivability. Any attempt by an adversary to neutralize it through a preemptive first strike becomes extremely difficult. The mobile platform also gives it greater operational flexibility, enhancing its strategic deterrent value in real-world scenarios. On the global military stage, Israel has long maintained a policy of nuclear ambiguity, neither confirming nor denying the possession of nuclear weapons. Yet the very existence of the Jericho III speaks volumes on its own. Combined with its potential nuclear payload, when geopolitics pushes toward a dangerous edge, this long-range strike capability ensures Israel always holds the last card: asymmetric retaliation. It is worth noting that many details surrounding the Jericho III remain speculative. Does it truly possess MIRV capability? Can its operational range genuinely cover intercontinental distances? How many are deployed? And where? These questions remain shrouded under Israel's strict veil of secrecy. The liner can reach a top speed of Mach 20. A single missile is enough to turn an entire stretch of ocean into an extension of strategic deterrence. It was not designed as a showpiece for newer submarines. Rather, it gives the aging Delta Ivg-class boats a continued nuclear second strike mission in the modern era. As the latest variant in the R-29 missile family, the liner continues the tradition of Soviet-era liquid-fuel ballistic missile technology. It builds on the R-29 RMU-2 Siniva missile as its predecessor, retaining the three-stage liquid propellant rocket engine design, while achieving a major breakthrough in thrust-to-weight ratio through optimized fuel formulation and a lighter structural design. On September 29, 2011, during the second test launch aboard the submarine Tula, the missile carried 10 independently targetable warheads and struck the Kura test range on the Kamchatka Peninsula with precision. Validating the missile's multi-target strike capability, the technical specifications of the liner demonstrate formidable strategic strike power. Its launch weight is 40 tons, with a full payload range of 8,300 kilometers, extending to 11,000 kilometers with a reduced warhead load, enough to cover all major strategic targets around the globe. Using a combined guidance system of celestial inertial navigation fused with GLONASS satellite updates, it achieves a circular error probable of within 350 meters. For a nuclear strike weapon, that level of accuracy is more than sufficient for strategic deterrence. Most notable is its flexible warhead configuration. It can carry 4 warheads at 500 kilotons each, 12 warheads at 100 kilotons each, or be reconfigured based on missile defense requirements to carry 8 warheads fitted with enhanced penetration aids. This modular design allows the missile to rapidly switch operational modes across different strategic environments. As modern missile defense systems continue to advance, the liner's penetration technology has become its core competitive edge. The decoys it carries alongside the real warheads share nearly identical radar and infrared signatures, creating a complex, confusing cloud of threats during the mid-course phase. Even more critically, the warheads are capable of in-flight maneuvering and retargeting, evading interceptors through course changes. This concept of active penetration means that even when facing systems like the U.S. Aegis, the liner still maintains a high probability of getting through. Compared to Russia's other submarine-launched missile, the Bulava, the liner is limited in submarine compatibility, being restricted to the Delta IV class. However, its maximum warhead capacity of 12 far exceeds the Bulava's 6 to 10, giving it a clear advantage in sheer firepower density as a liquid fuel missile. The liner offers unique advantages in deployment flexibility. It can complete launch preparations while the submarine is underway, supporting both single missile launches and full 16 missile salvos. This rapid response capability significantly enhances the submarine's survivability. At the 2025 military parade, massive missile formations rolled past Tiananmen Square. Among them, the one that drew the most attention was undoubtedly the Dongfeng 5C. The announcer's words global coverage instantly set the forums ablaze. The Dongfeng 5C did not come out of nowhere. It descended from China's earliest intercontinental ballistic missiles, the Dongfeng 5 series, as its heir. It inherited the family's extreme range and high-yield destructive power, while incorporating deep improvements to its MIRV capability, penetration techniques, and combat readiness. What commands the most attention about the Dongfeng 5C is its range and speed. According to open-source data, its maximum range exceeds 20,000 kilometers, putting virtually every target on Earth within reach. It is, in every sense, a true global strike weapon. As for its warhead design, outside analysts believe it carries multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles, potentially 6 to 12 nuclear warheads, in a real-world strike scenario. A single launch could simultaneously hit multiple strategic targets or saturate and overwhelm the enemy's missile defense systems. While no official speed data has been released, based on the physics involved, and ICBM in the re-entry phase of flight typically reaches around Mach 20. That means the Dongfeng 5C in its terminal approach is likely closing in at 6 to 7 kilometers per second. At hypersonic velocity, interception becomes virtually impossible for any existing missile defense system. A warhead incoming that fast leaves an intercept window of just a few dozen seconds. It truly achieves the strategic deterrence of being unstoppable. We all know the traditional weakness of liquid fuel missiles. They require fueling before launch, slowing combat readiness and limiting survivability. But reports indicate that the Dongfeng 5C has undergone improvements to its propulsion system and silo protection, allowing it to store fuel in the silo indefinitely. This significantly enhances the missile's ability to launch at a moment's notice. That means it is no longer just a doomsday weapon that only ignites reactively in a crisis. It is now a strategic asset on continuous high alert. From the tactical to the strategic level, the significance of this improvement cannot be overstated. It not only shortens the response time from receiving the order to launch, but also improves the missile's chance of surviving an enemy preemptive strike. Silo-based deployment, backed by hardened protective structures, gives the Dongfeng 5C a meaningful second strike capability, even under heavy enemy attack. This is precisely the heart of modern nuclear deterrence strategy. The emergence of the Dongfeng 5C also sends a powerful signal on the geopolitical stage. For a nation that emphasizes a minimum self-defensive nuclear posture, publicly displaying an ICBM this capable, this modern, and this far-reaching is both a display of confidence and a clear warning. Any potential adversary must reckon with the reality of China's strategic strike capability. It is not just a demonstration of military technology. It is a form of political language, directly shaping the dynamics of international relations. Compared to the more mobile Dongfeng 31 and the solid-fuel Dongfeng 41, the Dongfeng 5C may fall short in flexibility, but with its massive range, enormous throw weight, and MIRV capability, it still plays an irreplaceable role. Within China's nuclear triad, the backbone of France's sea-based strategic deterrent, the M51 submarine-launched ballistic missile has been in service since 2010, carrying out the nuclear deterrence mission of surviving any first strike, approximately 12 to 13 meters long and weighing 50 to 53 tons at launch. Its three-stage solid rocket boosters carry the missile out of the atmosphere and into the re-entry trajectory. Under typical ballistic conditions, it can reach speeds of up to Mach 20. At that velocity, the re-entry vehicle spends almost no time transiting through the atmosphere, compressing the intercept window to its absolute limit. The M51 was not built overnight. It was jointly developed by France and European defense and aerospace industries, with organizations like Ariane Group making significant contributions. In propulsion and solid-fuel rocket technology, the development effort, which began in the 1990s, brought together the engineering capabilities of the aerospace and defense industries, solid propulsion technology, inertial and stellar guidance systems, thermal protection materials, and MIRV technology have all undergone continuous refinement. In fact, the M51's solid boosters trace their lineage directly to the design philosophy behind civilian space launch vehicles. This brought with it mature propellant technology, as well as rigorous quality control and testing protocols. Extensive testing and refinement gave the M51 family significant gains. In both reliability and survivability, the M51 can carry multiple independently targetable re-entry vehicles. Early variants were planned to carry several thermonuclear warheads, each with a yield ranging from tens to hundreds of kilotons. The combination of multiple warheads, ballistic maneuvering, and MIRV technology not only improves the odds of defeating enemy defenses, but also multiplies the strategic strike effectiveness of a single missile, which is precisely why sea-based ballistic missiles are strategically valued for achieving maximum effect with minimal assets, deterring war through survivability. The many standoffs of the Cold War demonstrated that when one side possessed a sea-based force capable of hiding indefinitely, surviving enemy attack, and striking back when needed, the threshold for going to war rose dramatically. Under exactly that logic, the M51 is positioned as an indispensable naval pillar of France's nuclear triad. Beyond the technical details, the development and maintenance of the M51 demands enormous investment and complex industrial coordination. Propellant formulation, electrical and launch interfaces, shipboard launch tubes and submarine integration, ballistic and re-entry thermal management, warhead safety systems. Every link depends on long-term stability across the national supply chain and strict secrecy. Upgraded variants continue pushing further in terms of range, accuracy, warhead compatibility, and penetration capability to extend the platform's service life and keep pace with evolving missile defense capabilities. Worth noting, France has long kept the missile's range and warhead count classified, lending its strategic reach a degree of mystery. That adds to the strategic uncertainty facing any potential adversary. Furthermore, the missile's engines share technology with the Ariane rocket, allowing France to reduce costs while improving system reliability. In every sense, the M51 is not merely a missile, it is the physical embodiment of France's strategic will. Often referred to by the outside world as Satan O or the Doomsday Bomb. Names like these are enough to send a chill down anyone's spine. So is the Sarmat truly as terrifying as its reputation suggests. The Sarmat was designed as Russia's super-heavy land-based ICBM. Built to replace the Soviet-era R-36 meters, the complete missile weighs approximately 208 tons, stands about 35 meters tall, and uses a three-stage liquid propellant design. Its range is approximately 18,000 kilometers. With a single missile payload capacity of around 10 tons, it can carry MIRV warheads or a mixed warhead configuration. In certain re-entry or glide phases, its speed can reach an extreme Mach 20.64, roughly 25,500 kilometers per hour. It is worth noting that Mach number varies with altitude and temperature and is not constant, but its re-entry speed is unquestionably in the extreme category. Since the replacement program was launched in 2011, the Sarmat development team has invested heavily in propellant mixtures, achieving reliable thrust at massive scale and redesigning launch silos. In 2018, Russia officially promoted the Sarmat as one of its new strategic weapons, followed by a series of ground and flight tests. At 3:12 p.m. Moscow time on April 20, 2022, Russia's Ministry of Defense successfully test-launched the Sarmat ICBM from the Plesetsk Cosmodrome. It was the first flight test in the weapon's development program. The training warhead struck its designated target at the Kura range on the Kamchatka Peninsula. With that, the Sarmat officially entered service. The Sarmat does not win through numbers. It wins through the destructive power of a single missile and its multipath penetration, raising the interception difficulty and decision-making cost for any adversary. Its ability to carry multiple warheads, decoys, and even hypersonic glide vehicles challenges traditional intercept network-based defense systems in fundamentally new ways. More critically, the thermal management demands of liquid propulsion and its enormous payload, along with fueling safety and pre- and post-launch operational windows, all add significant complexity to ground support. This is both its source of strength and its vulnerability. After all, its sheer physical size means enormous infrastructure investment behind every single missile, dedicated silo modifications, transportation, assembly, and maintenance systems, far beyond what a smaller solid fuel ICBM would require. On top of that, liquid fuel systems are extremely sensitive to operational safety and fueling conditions. If an accident occurs, the consequences are severe, and recovery takes a long time. It is also worth mentioning that outside observers have long believed Russia's official figures carry a degree of promotional spin. The specific engine cycle configurations, MIRV trajectories, and real-world electronic countermeasure capabilities remain largely estimated by outside analysts. Regardless, the strategic impact of the Sarmat's emergence is unmistakable. The Sarmat can rapidly reshape an adversary's assessment of both passive and active nuclear defenses. It may also push rivals to reconfigure their nuclear deployments, intelligence operations, and early warning strategies. While it may strengthen the possessor's retaliatory capability, it also risks amplifying miscalculation in a crisis. A behemoth on high alert carries consequences from misfire or miscalculation that far exceed those of conventional conflict. The Minuteman III has been America's land-based ICBM since the early Cold War era. It is regarded as one of the fastest, longest-ranged, and most reliable solid-fuel ICBMs in the world, from the Minuteman program's origins in 1958 to the Minuteman III entering active service in 1970. This three-stage solid-fuel design represented the pinnacle of engineering for its era, quick to ignite, relatively straightforward to maintain, and fast to launch. Most importantly, the Minuteman III achieves an extremely high re-entry speed of Mach 23, equivalent to roughly 28,200 kilometers per hour. At that velocity, any defending force has almost no margin for detection and intercept. That is exactly why. It has served for so long as the backbone of strategic deterrence, a constant presence on the strategic map. Of course, speed is not the Minuteman III's only advantage. It uses a 3-stage solid booster alongside what is called the post-boost vehicle, which carries the re-entry vehicles to their designated trajectories after the rocket burn. The post-boost vehicle then uses small attitude control, thrusters to maneuver precisely and release each warhead at its target, equipped early on with Agni-V capability. In theory, a single missile can simultaneously deliver multiple warheads against separate targets, although arms control agreements and policy shifts over the years have caused the deployed warhead count and strategy to change multiple times. The underlying MIRV and re-entry technology remains complex and deadly. In terms of yield and destructive power, the Minuteman III has carried thermonuclear warheads including the Welwys 62 and Welwys 78. With individual yields ranging from hundreds of kilotons and above, the potential damage from a single missile is enormous. More importantly, its silos use a deeply buried, hardened design, dispersed across vast distances and backed by a complex command and control network, giving it significant advantages in strategic stability and survivability. Even in the wake of a preemptive first strike, it retains a credible second strike capability. This is the real-world embodiment of Cold War thinking, mutually assured destruction over the years. The United States has put the Minuteman III through multiple modernization upgrades, including guidance computers, ground testing, and maintenance system overhauls, keeping its availability high across decades of service. But after more than half a century in service, replacement is on the agenda. The United States has reportedly planned a next-generation ground-based strategic missile to gradually replace the Minuteman III starting in the 2030s, addressing aging components and upgrading to more modern command and control capabilities. And while the Minuteman III is technically reliable, its fixed silo deployment carries an inherent strategic disadvantage. Once an adversary precisely maps the locations and strikes within an extremely narrow window, a fixed silo is far easier to target than a submarine-launched or road mobile system. But whatever the future holds, the Minuteman III can be credited with driving the arms race. In missile defense and countermeasures, high-speed re-entry vehicles, MIRV release, and passive low observability measures have all pushed defenders to develop more sensitive sensors, faster interceptors, and more sophisticated event recognition systems. At the same time, arms control agreements and political decisions have continuously shaped its warhead count and deployment posture, keeping this Cold War relic in a constant state of adjustment between technology and politics. Agni-V slices through the atmosphere at a staggering Mach 24. It is not just a symbol of India's defense technology. It is a pivotal piece in the strategic balance of South Asia and beyond. The development of Agni-V traces back to the early 21st century, when India had already accumulated technical experience through the earlier Agni variants. But those missiles generally fell short of true intercontinental range. To address this, India's Defense Research and Development Organization decided to build on Agni-III and design a missile with greater range, enhanced mobility, and stronger penetration capability. After years of development work, in April 2012, Agni-V successfully completed its first test flight. This milestone did not just mark India's official entry into the Intercontinental Ballistic Missile Club. It represented a qualitative leap in its military capabilities. Agni-V is approximately 17.5 meters long, nearly 2 meters in diameter, and weighs over 50 tons. It uses a 3-stage solid fuel rocket engine. The advantage of solid fuel lies in ease of storage and operation, dramatically reducing launch preparation time. Compared to liquid fuel missiles, Agni-V is far better suited for rapid wartime deployment and response. Its range is widely estimated at 7,000 to 8,000 kilometers, theoretically covering all of Asia, parts of Europe, and even northern Africa. This means India's strategic deterrence extends from home soil to key regions around the globe. The missile uses a combination of inertial and satellite navigation to ensure stability of flight path and accuracy on target. Additionally, outside analysts widely believe Agni-V has the potential for MIRV capability, able to release 3 to 6 warheads over a target area, to strike different coordinates simultaneously for any defensive system. This significantly raises the challenge of interception and the weight of psychological deterrence. If range defines how far Agni-V can reach, then speed gives it a lethal penetration advantage. According to open-source data, Agni-V can reach speeds of up to Mach 24 during re-entry, roughly equivalent to 29,000 kilometers per hour. The extreme heat and plasma effects generated at that velocity make radar tracking and intercept operations significantly more complex. How to stop something that is practically invisible as it hurtles through the sky is a challenge every adversary must face. Agni-V's mobility design is equally impressive. It uses a canisterized launch system. The missile is sealed and stored in its container long-term, making it easy to transport while extending its shelf life. This technology allows India's missile forces to deploy launch vehicles anywhere on the national road network. Achieving full road mobile capability, the 8x8 heavy-duty transporter erector launcher gives Agni-V a true shoot and scoot capability, improving its survival odds against any preemptive first strike. Combined with night launch tests and launches from varied terrain, India has developed a truly always-ready strategic posture. Notably, the development of Agni-V is not just a story of technical breakthroughs. It also mirrors the evolution of India's strategic thinking in the post-Cold War multipolar world. India has consistently sought to shed the label of a regional power and project a global presence. As an intercontinental ballistic missile, Agni-V has become an important tool for India to signal its intentions to the world. In under 30 minutes, a single missile can cross 12,000 kilometers at approximately Mach 24, translating to 29,645 kilometers per hour as it tears through the atmosphere, landing within 90 meters of its target. That is the U.S. Navy's Trident II submarine-launched ballistic missile, the ultimate weapon of modern strategic deterrence. This submarine-launched ballistic missile did not come about by chance. It is the product of long-term technological development and strategic necessity spanning the Cold War and beyond. In 1973, the development program for the Trident II was approved with the aim of surpassing the performance of the Trident I. In the early stages of development, the team faced the core challenge of underwater launch for submarine missiles, specifically overcoming the water pressure shock as the missile exits the tube and ensuring the propulsion system ignites stably underwater. Lockheed Martin and the U.S. Navy's Underwater Warfare Center ran repeated tests and ultimately broke through with dry launch technology, allowing the missile to ascend cleanly from a depth of 40 meters underwater. As design specifications kept rising, the Trident II's entry into service was repeatedly delayed, finally reaching U.S. Navy deployment in December 1989. The Royal Navy began using it in 1994. This missile was not a simple upgrade of the Trident I. It was an entirely new design, representing a major leap forward in missile technology at the time. The Trident II uses a three-stage solid-fuel rocket motor. The first and second stages were manufactured by Thiokol Hercules. The third stage by United Technologies Corporation, its propellant, uses a nitrate ester plasticized polyether formula, boosting solid fuel capacity from 70% to 75%. And dramatically increasing energy output. The missile casing uses a graphite epoxy composite material, lightweight yet strong, further reducing weight and extending range. These technologies allow the Trident I, even when carrying 8 Mk5 warheads, to still achieve a range of 11,500 kilometers. Since entering service, it has completed over 170 test launches. Aside from one anomalous British test in 2024, all others hit their targets successfully, placing its success rate among the highest of any strategic missile worldwide. On guidance, the Trident II is equipped with the Mk6 Astro Inertial Guidance System, which can receive GPS updates, combined with stellar reference corrections, achieving a circular error probable of 90 meters. It can carry 1 to 8 WW-88 warheads at 455 kilotons each, or up to 14 WW-76 warheads at 100 kilotons each, and can even be fitted with the low-yield WW-76-2 at just 5 to 7 kilotons, flexibly addressing a wide range of strategic requirements. As a submarine-launched missile, stealth is the Trident I's greatest advantage. It is deployed aboard 14 U.S. Ohio-class submarines and 4 British Vanguard-class submarines. Each Ohio-class boat can carry 24 missiles, each Vanguard-class 16. This underwater launch capability makes detection by the enemy extremely difficult, greatly enhancing the survivability of nuclear deterrence. To stay current, the Trident II continues to be upgraded. A life extension program launched in 2014 upgraded it to the D5 variant, and the latest D5 Le2 improvement program is already underway. The upgraded navigation system uses miniaturized components, 30% smaller in size, yet delivering 50% more processing power. Resistant to strong electronic jamming, the wide 93 K7 nuclear warhead features an optimized yield adjustment mechanism, allowing rapid switching between strike modes. The program aims to extend service life all the way to 2084. Going forward, the Trident I will be deployed aboard the U.S. Columbia-class and British Dreadnought-class submarines, continuing to guard the strategic security of both nations from the depths of the ocean. October 1, 2019, at the parade marking the 70th anniversary of the People's Republic of China, when heavy transporter vehicles carrying the Dongfeng 41 ICBM came into view. The more than 20-meter-long behemoth immediately became the focal point of the entire event. This was the first public appearance of what was then China's most advanced strategic missile. The development of the Dongfeng 41 traces back to 1986, when the China Academy of Launch Vehicle Technology officially launched the Project 204 program, setting this intercontinental missile on its development path. The project was temporarily put on hold early on due to resource allocation issues, and it was not until 1994 that the first high-trajectory test launch was completed, over more than 3 decades of technical effort. The development team broke through key bottlenecks, including 3-stage solid-fuel rocket engines and composite guidance systems. The design was finalized around 2010 and delivered to the PLA rocket force for combat readiness testing. Compared to its liquid-fuel predecessor, the Dongfeng 5, the adoption of solid-fuel technology drastically reduced the Dongfeng 41's launch preparation time, significantly improving its strategic response speed. As one of the fastest-flying missiles in the world, the Dongfeng 41 can reach a terminal velocity of Mach 25, or 30,600 kilometers per hour. From launch in China to hitting a target on the American mainland takes only about 30 minutes. Its maximum range reaches 14,000 kilometers, meaning that from virtually any point within China, the vast majority of strategic targets around the world are within reach. In terms of strike accuracy, the Dongfeng 41 uses a composite guidance mode, combining inertial navigation, Beidou satellite navigation, and stellar guidance, achieving a circular error probable of within 100 meters. Accurate enough to precisely destroy enemy command centers, missile silos, and other key strategic assets. The Dongfeng 41's most attention-grabbing technical feature is its MIRV capability. It can carry up to 10 independently targetable nuclear warheads, each with a yield between 100,000 and 550,000 tons. These warheads can separate during the mid-course phase, and each lock onto a different target. Combined with the warhead's maneuvering capability, enemy missile defense systems find interception extremely difficult. Simulations run by U.S. think tanks indicate that with current missile defense technology, the probability of successfully intercepting the Dongfeng 41 is negligible. This extraordinary penetration capability makes it a core force in contemporary strategic deterrence. The Dongfeng 41 also employs a combination of road mobile, rail mobile, and hardened silo launch configurations, forming a 3-pronged strategic deployment model. Its road mobile platform uses the SX-4326 heavy transporter erector launcher, built by the Shaanxi Special Automobile Manufacturing Plant, with full all-terrain off-road capability and an integrated storage transport launch function. This unprepared site launch technology allows the missile to erect and fire from virtually any road capable of bearing its weight, dramatically improving survivability and deployment flexibility. In the conditions of modern warfare, the Dongfeng 41 as a system integrating range, speed, payload, and mobility has undoubtedly sparked a new round of global discussion on deterrence, stability, and arms control. 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。
. 。 . 。 . . 。 . 。 . 。 .
On deterrence, stability, and arms control. The flight distance from Moscow to New York is roughly 7,500 kilometers. A commercial aircraft would need 10 straight hours to cover it. For Russia's Avangard hypersonic glide vehicle, that distance takes just 15 minutes. This weapon, screaming along at Mach 27, treats the atmosphere as its own personal superhighway. Its speed of 32,200 kilometers per hour is 40 times the cruising speed of a commercial airliner. The Avangard was born out of a decades-long strategic standoff. After the United States withdrew from the Anti-Ballistic Missile Treaty in 2002, Russia recognized that traditional nuclear deterrence was at risk of becoming obsolete. It immediately revived a hypersonic weapons program that had originated in the Soviet era, what would later become the Project 4202. A development team led by NPO Mashinostroyenia completed the first test in 2004, but then ran into serious technical obstacles. By 2014, the project was nearly canceled at a critical meeting. The chief designer's unwavering commitment gave the project a lifeline. Finally, in March 2018, Putin revealed the weapon to the world during his State of the Nation address. After 5 successful test launches, including a December 2018 test fired from the Orenburg region that precisely hit a target 6,000 kilometers away on the Kamchatka Peninsula, the Avangard entered combat duty in December 2019, marking a breakthrough achievement for Russia in the hypersonic domain. In this extraordinary hypersonic flight, the greatest challenge the Avangard faces is the intense heat it generates itself. When tearing through the atmosphere at Mach 27, the surface temperature can soar to 2,000 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt steel. The development team solved this using a composite structure of carbon fiber composite materials. Combined with ceramic high-temperature resistant layers, this material dissipates heat continuously, much like space shuttle thermal tiles, keeping the precision guidance systems inside, functioning reliably through the inferno. Even more troublesome for missile defense systems is its unpredictable glide path. Through complex lateral and vertical maneuvers, the Avangard can perform a skipping stone flight along the edge of the atmosphere. Existing radar systems simply cannot predict where it will land. U.S. Strategic Command Commander John Hyten openly acknowledged that the Pentagon has no means of effectively intercepting this weapon. As a core element of strategic deterrence, the Avangard is mounted on OR-100N intercontinental ballistic missiles. With a range exceeding 10,000 kilometers, it can carry a nuclear warhead equivalent to 20 million tons of TNT, the equivalent of 1,600 Hiroshima atomic bombs. Even without a warhead, the kinetic impact from its velocity equates to an 18-ton explosion, enough to destroy hardened military installations. In December 2022, Russia's 2nd Avangard Missile Regiment entered combat duty at the Yasny military base. By the end of 2024, the missile division in the Orenburg region completed its full transition. These deployments give Russia a formidable and virtually unassailable strategic advantage on the European front. The U.S. National Interest magazine once commented that the Avangard's deployment has temporarily put Russia ahead of both China and the United States in the hypersonic arms race. While other nations are still wrestling with the technical hurdles of Mach 5 to 6, Russia has already fielded a Mach 27 weapon in operational service. And that is everything for this episode. Of the 10 fastest missiles in the world we have covered today, which one left the biggest impression on you? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this episode, please like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Thanks for watching. See you next time.